media. We will get you out of here before the top of the hour, give you guys enough time to get those bets in for the primetime games, and that's what we do here on the drive-thru Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Deliver live free sports bets for the games beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern Time and later. Deliver those winners, professional handicappers over at Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Play. So let's take a peek at who's on the show with us for today. Big Al McMordie with us. We're looking for Shane. We got Tony Brown in Vegas, Wayne Scott, and Millz Young. Here's how they'll line up for this evening. We got McMordie, Brown, Young, Briggs. Not Briggs. It'll be Shane. We can find him. Scott, and then I will close this one out. Briggs, another late scratch. All right, guys, on the board. Well, just Summer League tonight, but we're also potpourri. We're going to give you some daytime baseball for tomorrow, some games before the primetime hour. There's 3 scheduled, so we'll have some baseball coverage here. UFC, always with the Millz here on the Thursday. So let's get the show underway. Let's go ahead and welcome in Big Al McMordie with an NBA future here. You catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. Bring Big Al here, ready to roll here to start the show here on a Thursday. Let's see. Big Al, how's it going?
Pretty good, Tony. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, All right, here we go. It's that time of the year where we look at some season win totals and futures, but you're going to be looking at an NBA.
Yeah, NBA is my favorite sport, and last year we had the Celtics at 4-1 to win the NBA title, so that paid off handsomely. I know Jay Briggs was on it as well. So, last year when you take a look at what the Celtics did, what they did was historic. The Celtics had a net adjusted efficiency rating of 11.11, and how good of a rating is plus 11 or more? Well, consider that since the league was founded in 1946, only the 1971 Milwaukee Bucks, the 1972 Los Angeles Lakers, the 96 and 97 Chicago Bulls, the 2016 San Antonio Spurs, and the 2017 Golden State Warriors. That's it. So Boston was in rarefied air last season with a net adjusted efficiency rating of 11 points or higher. Just a handful of teams have ever done it, and the league has existed now, whatever it is, 78 years. It's pretty hard to make a case that when a team is that far and above the rest of the league, that team's also not going to be pretty good the next year. I mean, Boston hasn't lost anyone, right? So I don't know who I'm necessarily going to pick to win the NBA title when we finally get to, November. But Bovada's odds on the Celtics today is plus 300, which represents a 25% chance. If it's plus 300 in November, they may be my pick. But they also have Oklahoma City sitting at plus 650, which represents a 13.33% chance. So combined, the chance that either Boston or Oklahoma City win is 38.33%. And Bovada does have odds on that exact prop. You can bet that either Oklahoma City or the Boston Celtics will win the title, and they're offering plus 160, which does match the 38.33% probability. So I like that prop a lot because I do like what Oklahoma City has done to improve itself. Last year, the Thunder was the second best team in net adjusted efficiency. Their rating was 7.26. I know Dallas made the NBA Finals last year, but Dallas rated 14th in the net rating. Dallas was just plus 2.18. So Dallas did add, Klay Thompson, but Dallas still has a big gap to make up on what Oklahoma City did last year. I think the problem with Oklahoma City was, they were a young team. But now they're going to have another year under their belt. They made that great trade, getting rid of Giddey and adding Caruso. They add Isaiah Hartenstein in free agency. So I really like what Oklahoma City is doing. And if there's going to be one team that I do pick to win the NBA Finals other than Boston, it's likely going to be Oklahoma City. And their odds, as I mentioned, is plus 650. But right now, I think the best way to go is to just take both teams in a basket, get either or to win, and get plus 160 at Bovada.
All right, Big Al here on OKC or Boston to win NBA title plus 160. OKC was second there in the efficiency numbers. I think it was a plus 7.3. But I'm going to ask you this, Big Al. The Boston Celtics regular season played 30 games against the Western Conference. What was their net efficiency rating? Higher or lower? Higher or lower?
Higher or lower than what?
Than the 11, their overall average.
I have no idea because I don't know when the games took place. Was
Yeah,
were they healthy at the time?
Right. Okay. So they faced the 30 games, 15 home, 15 away against the Western Conference, who we perceive to be the best conference. Right. They had a higher number, plus 14.4.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of that was going to come down to like, did they have the entire lineup? Because they were injured a lot of the year, so a lot of it would be happenstance as well. Now, the thing that you have to consider is it's not going to surprise me if Boston takes a step back. They just won the title. You take a look at what Golden State did the year after they had that rating above 11. Then there was 2018, and they were the third best team. If you recall, that was the year that you had James Harden, the Houston Rockets, right? Toronto had a nice year. That was pre-Kawhi Leonard, but Toronto had a nice year. And you had Golden State just coasted. I mean, their net rating that year was 5.70. They had a 58-24 record. So you can see Boston completely take the foot off the gas in the regular season this year, but they're still by far the best team, and they're still the favorite to win. So you might get that kind of scenario as well, where Boston just doesn't give a shit during the regular season, but they're just focused on the playoffs, and then they just steamroll in the playoffs, just what Golden State did in 2018. So that's kind of how I look at it.
OKC had 52 games against the Western Conference, a +9 efficiency rating. That's just pretty impressive, considering that we perceive that conference to be very strong.
Well, and that means that their efficiency rating against the East was, what, in the 5s?
Let's take a look here. Let me go ahead and run the East here.
Because their combined was 7.26.
Yeah, it was. So let's see, versus the Eastern Conference. Let's see where they're at here against the East. OKC efficiency number 4.2, plus 4.2.
Yeah. So there, it's interesting, but I don't want this to slip my mind, but we have Christmas in July.
Absolutely. So let them know what's going on.
So,
yep.
Yeah. So I've adjusted my season packages. The yearly package, you can save $500, but you must join before midnight on July 31st. It'll get here before we know it. It's always the most popular time of the year for people to sign up for any of the handicappers at Pick Dogs for the annual special, so people do not miss out, because these prices go away, and they go away forever on July 31st.
That's right, guys. They get up on Big Al McMordie. You see the great results from Big Al for the year. Christmas in July includes all sports. Big Al handicaps for that 1 year all sports pass. A lot of the complete NFL, college football, NBA, college hoops. End of baseball this year, start of baseball next year. A great way to get on board, guys. You see the great results from Big Al. Remember, that promo code is in effect here. Pick at checkout. We'll save you that 15% off. Right, Big Al, is always great having you.
So they get off, and it's not like $500, it's like $720 or something like that.
Oh yeah, it's a big reduction. This is the time to get on board, guys, for that 1 year pass with Big Al. I know Big Al, again, let them know about how your performance was great in football and all the major sports over the years.
Oh God, it's fingers crossed we keep it going. I've won 24 out of 32 football seasons, 24 out of 32 basketball seasons. Last year the basketball record alone was 478 and 377. The year before, 503 and 407. So I've been up, roughly like 100 games, before the juice, each season in basketball. I've won 11 out of 12 NFL seasons. So, it's steady. Don't win every year, but we win much more often than we lose. And it's well worth it. It's worth it even without the Christmas in July. But if you could save, $700, $800, it's a steal.
Okay, Big Al, of course, you've been documented for decades, right? For years. Obviously, not all the records are going to be at Pick Dogs. You were documented at another site, right? The I'm documented as Sports Watch Monitor, which is one of the leading independent sports monitors. So they monitor a lot of people. Before Sports Watch Monitor, I was monitored by Ruth of the Oklahoma City Sports Monitor. I was monitored by Jack Stewart, monitored by Big Guy. There's been various ones over the years. A lot of them end up going out of business because it's not really a money-making enterprise. It's just a labor of love. But right now it's Sports Watch Monitor, and I've been ranked number 1 in NBA and college basketball each of the last 4 seasons. So pretty consistent. There you go, guys. So you can verify those numbers at those monitor sites. All right, Big Al, have yourself a great rest of the week. We'll catch up with you again next week.
Thanks, Tony. Good luck to you as always.
He was, well, big on McMordie here on the drive through. Let's continue here on the show, guys. Up next, we're going to bring in Tony Brown. I don't see Shane signed in yet, so go to Tony Brown. Let me just verify here. Let me check the old screen here to see what we've got up board here on the 6 on our screen. We don't have Shane in yet, so let's go ahead and welcome in Tony Brown. We're going to get some baseball for tomorrow. There is some before primetime games here, 3 of them on the board. We'll have 2 covered here on the show. So let's bring in Tony Brown. You'll catch him over at Pick Dog Stream. We'll bring him in here in just a second. Out in hot Las Vegas, Nevada. Tony Brown, what's happening?
Man, I'm in flooded Las Vegas, Nevada.
Flooded?
Yeah, 2 thunderstorms.
Wow.
Yeah, 2 thunderstorms this week. It's as we speak. It's currently raining here.
Wow. Well, you get to enjoy it while you can. But of course,
Right. I mean, I'm not complaining. It was 120 before that, but it's just weird. The weather. You go outside with your shorts on and you step in a puddle, and it was supposed to be 100 degrees outside.
Yikes, that is rough. All right, Tony Brown, here we go. Major League Baseball here for Wednesday here. I'm sorry, Friday. Got to get the days together. Friday. It's been a long break here. All right, Reds and Nationals head-to-head. Now, we do have some. Let me verify if these pitchers are still on because I might have seen different starting pitchers here. Of course, this is going to happen here. Do you see Montaz and Corbin now? Because I know earlier I had seen Hunter Green and Mackenzie Gore, but right now I'm showing Montaz and Corbin.
I didn't look into that game. I was on the Phillies game.
I'm sorry, Phillies game. All right, that's good. Okay, so Phillies and Pittsburgh. Okay, so now I got that right here. Phillies, and for some reason, this guy, I think that's why I got my attention. Okay, yeah. Right now we're seeing Nola and Martin Perez here going head-to-head here because there was some openers earlier this morning, and of course there'll be some changes as we go throughout the evening here. So it looks like Nola and Martin Perez here in this one. Let's take a look at the odds here. It looks like the Phillies favored about $1.25, total about 8.
Yeah, I seen the Phillies at minus 125 when I sent you the pick. I like this game right here just for the simple fact that it's a home field advantage for the Pirates, but as we both know, Philadelphia is also in Pennsylvania. I think it's about 300, 400 miles away, 4-hour drive, so it's not truly a true home field advantage. And even if it was, the Pirates have just 22 wins at home this season. That's less than the Phillies' 25 road wins. And when we speak of wins, you can't speak of wins without speaking of Philadelphia. They're the only team in the MLB this season with 60 wins, and they have 60-plus with 62. So, I mean, betting on the best team in baseball is never really a bad idea. It's the first game back after the break, so I don't think, I think everybody's going to just get back rolling after a nice little break and taking the best team in the league on the road, but really not on the road. Too good to pass up, so I think we'll do it. Not to mention Nola's been having a killer season. He's 11-3, ERA just a shade over 3. I think he does enough to hold the Pirates down, especially with the Pirates not pitching Skeen. We all know he just did a doozy in the All-Star game. He's been pitching lights out this season, so that's their main threat. Without him on the mound, I definitely was going to take the best team in baseball to get this one done on the road, especially at this price.
Yeah, that price you can find here in this one. Here, minus 125, and of course, note the pitching change here. Looks like from in this spot, no Keller here. It looks like Martin Perez. Keller was listed in the morning. Now Perez, the lefty, and he's not as effective for Pittsburgh. Yeah, talking about issues with the Pirates is going to be that bullpen at home, and of course that hitting lineup just not consistent. I look at Skeens; he almost has to be perfect out there just to get the W.
Literally, and then they're going to be like, it's a false pretense. I think this line is low. Like, maybe they thinking the Pirates have a chance because they're on a 4-game winning streak before the break. They headed into the break 4-0, but 3 of those games were against the White Sox, who sit dead last in the MLB standing. So you're supposed to win those games against the White Sox, especially going into the break. You don't want to, have a sour taste in your mouth losing to the worst team in baseball. So, yeah, he won't be much effect for this one, and I think the Phillies win this one pretty easy. I would take the run line, but we don't want to be greedy. Just get paid on this one. It's only minus 125.
Yeah, Schwarber and Harper are back in the lineup. They got back in last weekend, so they're back to health, although Real Muto is still out. But again, that top of the lineup, man, tough on that Phillies team. And they have 62-34 record. They are the real deal, Tony Brown, and one of the favorites to win it all.
Yeah, I can't say enough about Bryce Harper. I'm a Dodger fanatic, and the Dodgers are my favorite team, but definitely my favorite player in baseball is Bryce Harper, and he's a CSN alumni. He went to college out here in Vegas, so I like that kid. He's the MVP. He's doing the best he can. He literally put Philly on his back and took him to the World Series. He just couldn't get it done alone, but he got a little bit of help now, some good pitching, and they lead the league in wins. I think they're going to be a very, very viable candidate for the Dodgers to beat in the NLCS.
There you go. We got Tony Brown here on the Phillies here, minus 125 against the Pirates. 6:40 Eastern time tomorrow is Friday as Major League Baseball returns here off that long break. All right, Tony Brown, of course, Christmas in July right now. Everybody excited here. This is our best time of the year for our biggest markdowns. What do you have going over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Yeah, nothing going on today. This is the last day of our break, obviously, but tomorrow I have a nice situation going. The whole MLB is back in play. It's been the All-Star break. We haven't had much action, so I got a lot of action for us tomorrow. And like you said, it's Christmas in July. $700 off of the packages. You're almost getting them for half off. You're paying a little bit of nothing for a full 365 days of my plays. If you get that VIP pass with the Christmas in July and use the little promo codes that you get, you're going to get every single play I release from every single sport, playoffs, championships included. There's no upselling for 365 days. Until this time next July 2025, every single play I released. And last year, we finished number 1 in the NFL. So if you bet football, nobody made more money betting you football than me. That's also a number 1 finish in the MLB before. We finished number 1 in NHL before. So we're shooting to get number 1 in the NBA and just have an all-around number 1 season in all the sports. And that's only going to make you money. We don't want your money. We want your bookie's money. So grab that pass, the Christmas in July, pair me up with another great capper, and let's start making money all year round.
All year round. We're Tony Brown over at Pick Dog Premium. Best time here, Christmas in July. All the major sports for Tony Brown. NFL, college football. Great NFL season last year. The hoops. You know he's good and great in hockey, right? We've been seeing Tony Brown for a while over these YouTube channels, delivering the goods. So get on board. Remember the promo code is valid even with the big markdowns. Pick at checkout saves you that 15% off. All right, Tony Brown, as always, great having you on the show. We'll catch up with you again next week. But I'll let you know as we hit the All-Star break, this is the time of the year when some people were down on the Dodgers last year during the break, and we saw them have a really good second half. You see that happening this year?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the rest of the league is lucky that Mookie Betts has a broken arm and that Shohei Ohtani's only playing one way. If Shohei Ohtani was pitching and Mookie Betts was still at the top of our lineup, I think we'd have 70 wins, and that's no exaggeration. Like, we have a couple losses just where we could have used a better pitcher. We had to pull a guy up. Like, now we're full of injuries, and Mookie Betts is an all-star. He's the top of our lineup. He's an MVP, wins you a couple games alone. Like, now that everything is going to be back in order, I mean, Shohei's not going to pitch again, but Mookie's going to come back to the top of the lineup, and then Shohei's going to keep hitting those home runs. The Dodgers will be fine. The postseason is where we're really going to be the test, but we should be fine, barring injury, of course.
All right, Tony Brown, so looking at fine here for this Dodger team as we move into the second half. Officially not. They're a little more than these teams have played a little bit more than that, but go good forward here for the post. All the teams have played about 97 games or so. So still about 60, almost 65 games left.
The longest season of all the sports, but it's blowing by. Like, that's incredible. They're almost at the 100-game mark, and it's 162 games in the season. I was one of the fans of them shortening baseball because 182 was a lot, but you see how quick 162 goes. So I don't know. We'll see. It's time for the cream to rise to the crop, though, because that's not a lot of time. I mean, a lot of games at all.
The way salaries are going up, trust me, they won't mind that they're going back to the 160 because obviously they have to reduce the salary, but the way the salaries are skyrocketing, maybe the players wouldn't mind playing less, but earning more as they are doing now.
Right, and the salaries seem now to be coming out of our pockets, man. The Raiders Stadium, Allegiant Stadium, is the highest stadium of all the sports for entry ticket prices and concessions and stuff. For a family of 4, game tickets, 2 beers, 2 drinks, and some food, they say it's like $2,000.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. There's supply demand. There's the demand to pay those prices. So there's
right, and it's always sold out. So it's like, I mean, I guess we're not complaining, but geez, that's tough on a family. I'm single, so I don't know, but I would imagine that's tough to spend $2,000 to go watch a game on Sunday.
Oof, yep, quite a bit of money there. All right, Tony, have a great rest of the week. We'll catch up with you next week.
Always appreciate being here. Thanks for having me, and I'll see you guys next week, Tom.
See you next week. Tony Brown here on The Drive To. All right, let's continue here on the show, guys. It's Thursday. It's time for some UFC. Now, our man Millz Young, catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. Pick Dogs here, YouTube channel, a content contributor here on the channel with a lot of content here we'll talk about a little later. Millz, how's it going?
What's going on, Tony? How's everybody doing?
Everything's going great. UFC Fight Night. We're ready to roll here from the Apex, Saturday, July 20th. And we're going to the prelims. Of course, Millz is well-rounded. He can give you main event. He can give you main event picks. He can give you the prelims as well. It all pays the same. All right, let us know, Millz. We're looking here at Maverick and Barbosa.
Yeah, man, it's going to be a good one in there. You got a big favorite in Miranda Maverick, the -220, okay? We're not looking at player shit there. We're looking at a player at the rate that she usually wins. She has 6-3 record in the UFC. 6 of those wins, 3 of them came by winning by decision. I'm going to be looking at her to win by decision in this one. We can get her at a -110. But the reason why I really like that play is her opponent. She only has 2 losses. One of them's been by decision. And both of the way that both of these women fight, they're kind of like grapplers who like to get the woman down to the ground and kind of win minutes. They're not going out there for the finish in all their fights. They're kind of going out there to win minutes. In this one, Miranda Maverick, in her previous fights, sometimes she's as high as a -350 favorite on her. So right now, we're just looking at a way to get out a way better price tag and a fight to where, I actually think she is the biggest favorite on this card. And this is where I actually think she has the better fight resume, the better striking, the better wrestling, the better cardio, and, the better power church. So I love Miranda Maverick to win by decision.
All right, we got Bill Sears says Miranda Maverick to win by decision 15-5. So a win here by Maverick, I should say, Miranda Maverick. Where does this push her up? Is there any shot for a title? We're in the flyweight division here.
So she's ranked number 15, I want to say right now. And she was supposed to be fighting Tracy Cortez, who actually got her fight pulled out on short notice and fought Rose Namajunas last week. So, if she was a little bit higher up, they would have pulled her out because Tracy Cortez was only ranked 11. And from there, that was one title fight away. From here, though, this will be a nice win, because Barbosa is actually up-and-coming fighter, but I would still say she's about 2 fights away from fighting from that title with the win over this Saturday.
All right, Miranda back by decision, even money here on ESPN2, and it will be part of the prelim card. Let's get to the main event here that will be featured on ESPN here. We'll do a rundown. Garcia and Choi going head-to-head here in the main card. This one will be in the featherweight. This one here, Choi and Garcia going head-to-head. Wait a minute. Yep, I got that right. Yep, we got here Garcia, favorite $1.25. The total sits 1.5.
Yeah, man, I love the under in this fight. Best bet in this fight is fight not going the distance. You got Garcia, who's been knocked down in all of his fights that he's been in the UFC, and you got for Choi, who's been knocked down too. A lot of times too. When he comes out and fights. The under's at a 1.5. I don't think it's going to round 2. So I actually think the under 1.5 is the safe play in here. Both these guys are chainy, so it's hard to trust either of them. But you got a lot of Korean fighters that's fighting on this card. And I actually like the dog a little bit in this one. So I actually think Choi's a little bit liver than Garcia is in this spot.
All right, Sang-Woon Choi. Get the right Choi in there. Sang-Woon Choi here. There's another Choi in this card. We'll get to that one in a little bit. So just make sure you guys have the right fighter there when you're making your bets on this one. All right, we go here to Tavares and Park here. This one is it looks like it is going to be in the middleweight division here. We're seeing here, this one looks like we're looking for odds here. We got Tavares $1.54 in this one. Plus 154. Jung Young Park is the favorite -185.
Man, Jung Young Park in this spot, man. He has the better fight resume. He has the better fight IQ, I want to say. He has a lot of wins by submission. I actually think he's going to win by decision in this one. So I like fight to go the distance, and I love me some Jung Young Park in this one. He goes by the name of the Iron Turtle. I think he's going to put up and have a great performance this Saturday.
All right, look at there in that spot. All right, here's the other Choi. We've got Duho Choi to face Bill Elgio here in the featherweight division. Elgio favored $1.65, total 2.5.
Yeah, man. Again, man, we're on pick dogs, so it's only right, man. I picked the dogs. I like the dog in this one, man. Choi is one of those fighters to where he was a Korean. He was in the Korean military. He had to serve 3 years and then come back to the UFC, and that's what he did. Served 3 years, then he came back to the UFC, fought against Kyle Nost in the fight that he won, but he had a point taken, so they gave it a draw. One of his fights elected in the UFC Hall of Fame. Like Choi.
There we go. Do Ho Choi. So make sure you get the right. There's two choices we said in this card. Do Ho Choi here as at the underdog price. All right, here we go. We go to this. We go here to the strawweight division. This is your main event here. Strawweight bout between Amanda Lemos and Verma Jandiroba. We see Jandiroba favored $1.31, total 2.5.
Yeah, I definitely like the fight not going the distance in this one. Both these women got finishes and ability. Jandiroba is a heavy grappler that wants to get you down to the ground and submit you, and she's relentless with these takedowns, folks. They're fighting in the Apex, a smaller cage, so I think she's actually going to be live in there. But Lemos, she's the dog, and she actually fought for the title once against Zaylee Wang. I was surprised when the lines came out. I thought she should have been the favorite, but should have been, and what she is still doesn't keep me off the bet. I got to play on Jandiroba in this spot. Minus 130, that was enough for me to hop in. I think she's going to be able to submit around 3 or 4.
There you go. As we continue here on this rundown here, we continue here in the ESPN card, the main card here. Kurt Holbach will be facing a Kayan Kruszewski. And this one was the Kruszewski favored $1.33, total 2.5.
Yeah, one of the fights I tried not to invest any of my time or money in, and I did a good job. But the pick's going to be Kayan to win, and I like fight not to go the distance.
There you go. As we continue here on the fight card here, this is continuing here in the main card. We've got Durden and Bruno Silva going head-to-head. Don't see any odds posted on this one. Might have just come up. Let's see. Nope.
Nah, so you got Durden's going to be like a minus 125 on the books. Bruno's going to be a slight underdog on there, probably like plus 105. It's a good fight. And you can make a case for both these fighters, but the case I'm going to make is fight not going the distance. Both these guys don't like each other. Cody Durden, he usually loses his fights by submission. Bruno Silva, he's great at submissions. I actually like Cody Durden to win in this fight, though. But the best bet is fight not going the distance. It's a nice plus 20 price tag. I want to say it's like plus 190.
All right, we'll continue here on our rundown. We'll now move into the back into the prelims here with Luana Carolina taking on Lucia Pudilova in a flyweight bout. We see this one fairly close here in the lines. Carolina $1.10, total 2.5.
Yeah, this is another fight where, it's a women's fight, but none of them are too highly talented. I'm not going to waste my money on it, but the pick is going to be Pudilova in here. I think she's an underdog in here that can get the wrestling going down, and get Carolina down to the ground with the takedowns.
All right, continuing here, we've covered already the Maverick and Barbosa fight, so we now move into this one here as we'll look in the heavyweight bout. We got the heavyweights going, the big fellas. We got Usman and Peterson. Usman favored $1.33, total 2.5.
Yeah, two fighters. They're both, man, hard to trust. This is Muhammad Usman, Kamaru Usman's brother, but he doesn't fight nothing like him. None of the genes, none of the stuff rough. Only thing they got the same is the same head shape. But in this one, Peterson too, you can't really trust him too much. I think he's like 1-2 in the UFC. I like fight to go the distances. I think it's at a minus 190. And if you're making me pick gun to the head, I'm taking Muhammad Usman.
Usman there from Millz. All right, we'll continue here to the lightweights here. We've got Loic Razabov and Trey Ogden head-to-head here. In this one, we see Razabov favored $1.16, total 2.5.
Yeah, man. So you got Ogden who opened up he opened up plus 140 on the books. Now you see where the line came in. Both these fighters kind of resemble to where they fight the same. But me, I like Ogden in this spot. He's a fighter that goes together with a good game plan, and he bases his whole game plan based off his opponent's weaknesses. So he's going out there to win minutes, and at this point in his stage in his career, he's been able to do it on some good impressive fights. So give me Trey Ogden in that spot.
Ogden says Millz here. We continue here into the featherweight division here as we've got Jeng Young Lee taking Hyder Amil. In this one, Lee favored $1.91, total 2.5.
I think this is going to be one of the best fights on the card, if not probably the best fight on the card. Both these fighters are exciting and entertaining. Hyder Amil looks to go in there and give you everything that he got in the first round. He slows down after that. Lee, He's a little bit more complex, more structured. I like Lee in here. I think he's going to be able to get it done late in the fight. But this is one to where the dog is live as well. So, that minus 190 is way too high for me to play straight on a fighter that I actually, think that the opponent's live in. So, and on top of it, I didn't even do a parlay with this one. So, yeah, this is one to where I'm just staying off, just watching the fight. And I do like the under 2.5.
Under 2.5, a Mill, a Philippine fighter. Any top Philippine fighters? Of course, when we think of Manny Pacquiao in boxing.
Man, there you go, doing your research. Look at Tony, man, for fresh on the scene, man. Yeah, man, he's one of the Philippine fighters that's actually good in the UFC too. And yeah, the only one other guy that they got pretty much is Manny Pacquiao in combat sports. But Hyder Mill, he's real good, and the thing is, he's undefeated, a little bit older. By the time he came to the UFC, but he's an exciting fighter. So that's why, like I said, I like Lee. He's a young prospect, supposed to be something, but there's no way I could feel good going against Hyder and Mill in that spot. So I just like the under 2.5 as the pick on that one. And like I said, I think that's going to be the most exciting fight on the card.
Yeah, I know in the Philippines with Manny, you could see boxing when he was a kid. What an 8-year-old, 9-year-old. What do they do in that country with the young fighters? Do they do the same in boxing? Do we see them at a young age? Muay Thai.
Yeah, so they're practicing Muay Thai at a young age out there. They're like 6, 7 years old, just banded up, striking like Muay Thai fighters out there. So a lot of them are practicing Muay Thai, just like out here. Tony, in LA, when you were 5 or 6 years old, everybody had boxing gloves. So that's why, like out here, the Hispanic community pretty much dominated boxing out here, for so long and stuff. Because it was just one of those things, Same thing they do out there. When you're 5 or 6, you're out there doing Muay Thai strikes. So Muay Thai is their thing.
Muay Thai is a thing out there. All right, we'll continue here as we U.S. versus U.S. here. Bantamweight bout between Kelleher and Gibson. And this one, Gibson, big favorite here, 207, total 1.5.
Yeah, man. So you got Brian Kelleher, who has one more fight left on his contract, contemplating retirement. He had spinal surgery, so this is his second fight back from there. Not looking on the upside of his career. On the other side, you got Gibson, who's 0-2 in the UFC. But I think Gibson's gonna get the win in here. I can even see him finishing him, even though he doesn't finish his opponents. But this is another one to where I'm more convinced Gibson's going to win on this one than Kelleher putting off like a submission surprise. That is the one way Boom Kelleher could win, is by submission. He has about 7 wins by submission, and that's what he's known for. But take the money with Cody Gibson. Sometimes the price is right.
The price is right. All right, we got you through the prelims and the main event main card here for UFC Fight Night in Vegas, July 20th. ESPN and ESPN2 is where you can find these fights. All right. Mills, everybody know what you have going over at the site. You're a content contributor over at Pick Dogs with your UFC rundown as well as your prop shop.
Yeah, man. Check out the UFC Bet With Me series. Last week we went 7-4. Hit with some good dogs out there. One of the dogs I wasn't able to hit with, but I hit with some other good dogs on there as well. Besides that, you got the prop shop going daily. Just acclimated the WNBA player props to those two as well. So you guys definitely want to see what's going on with those. Baseball, wasn't enough, man. I've been giving out strikeout props and everything and hitting props. I wanted a little bit more to the plate, so now I got the WNBA girls on there, and man, they've been putting up money too on Prize Picks and everything like that. So check out the prop shop dropping daily, and then just stay tuned and wait and see what UFC tier videos that we got dropping out on the channel too.
That's right, guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, set notifications so when Mills drops those prop shops and his UFC rundown, you get them right away. Millz Young here, a content contributor at Pick Dogs YouTube channel, all right? And of course, member of the UFC media. All right, Mills, is always great having your show. Have yourself a great evening, and we'll catch up with you again next week.
All right, Tony. Appreciate everybody out there.
You got it. Millz Young here on the drive to. Let's continue here on our show. It's going to be time now for our NBA Summer League segment here with Wayne Scott. Of course, you can find him over at Pick Dogs Premium as we go through the rundown. First, we're going to get his show pick. Then we do the rundown of the games remaining here on the NBA Summer League card. Wayne, what's happening?
Everything's going solid with me today, Tony T. Hope everything's going good with you and the Pick Dog family out there today.
Things are going great. All right, here we go. Summer League. This is the show pick, 8 Eastern time. Probably NBA TV, I would think, or ESPN Plus. Magic and Nets head-to-head. Magic favorite 3, total 178.5.
Yes, sir. And both of these teams are 2-1. To me, the Magic have played the better schedule. They're coming off a tough loss yesterday. They got down about 17 points and battled back. Needed a 2-point game, ended up losing by 6. No Anthony Black yesterday, but all in all, I continue to like what I see from them. Guys hustled. They played a good Memphis team. G.G. Jackson, we've been hollering about him on the show. He went crazy for 27 points. Scottie Pippen Jr. had 25 points. No Edie, but all in all, Memphis gave them all they can handle and scratched that one out. But I'm not disappointed in what I've seen from the Magic. They're getting great production from their rookie out of Colorado. We seen what Colorado did last year in college basketball, and now he's an older guy. He translated very well. Jet Howard, draft pick for the Magic year before. He's averaging about 15, getting closer and closer to 20. Huff, 7'2" guy out of Virginia, putting in quality minutes. The Nets are, like I said, they're 2-1, but they gave away a lot of their draft picks just over the years with the Harden and Durant trade and all that stuff going on. So they have a lot of G Leaguers. Yes, these guys want to make the NBA. Yes, these guys have been playing decent, but I just like what the Magic have going on overall. I like the fact that they did lose yesterday. I think they'd be motivated to come out here and continue to impress people over the summer and get this win. So I'm going to rock with the Magic and lay those 3 points against the Nets.
All right, we got Wayne here with the Magic laying the points here. We saw it move tick up to 3 now in this one. Yeah, there's something to be said about these second-year players. In the summer league, you can start to see them. They're rising up there. Of course, some of them, if they're drafted, they may be looking at a contract coming up. Depends on when they're drafted or if they're not drafted. So again, these are very important. So always good idea to take a look at the rosters, see how many second-year guys are on these rosters, Wayne, because they've got a lot to play for. Because again, if they're not drafted in that first round, they could be got a contract coming up.
Yeah, most definitely. These second-year players have been going crazy, as Tony mentioned, playing for contracts, and that's always a lot to play for. The Nets do have a few players who did have some decent playing time. Whitehead last year. I'm familiar with Gilliard, and I'm familiar with Wilson. That's kind of their three-headed monster. I just don't think it competes with the Magic's three-headed monster, and outside of that, I just think the Magic have more role players who are NBA ready and trying to solidify spots on that team.
All right, I got Wayne here on the Magic, laying now the 3 in this one. Let me see, that 3 points seems to be where it's at. We had 2 earlier. Of course, these lines are going to move. Let's see what we got right now. There's some 2s out there. The 3 is the sharpest book in the world, so there are some 2s, so we can grade them on the 2 because you can find 2.2 many places right now. So get them in fast because these lines move quickly here on this NBA. From this NBA Summer League. So let's go here and take a look at the card here, for the remaining card here, because they usually start earlier. We have a game in already. Nuggets get the win against the Pacers. We got a game in progress. I'm watching right now. Grizzlies and Pelicans. Close one there. We saw Edie was playing today in this game, but we'll move on here to a game beginning top of the hour. Wizards and Knicks here. Wizards will be favored 3. The total sits 178.
Wizards and Kings, I think you meant to say,
Kings,
but yeah, Kings. Outside of Keon Ellis, they're really not getting a lot of production from a lot of the guys that they have on their team. But the Wizards, they've been a part of some close games. I just like the players that are on the Wizards. Carrington's been good. It's only a matter of time before we see a decent game from the second round pick, Sarr. I know a lot of people have been clowning him because he had the 0 point, but I think this is a perfect game where we see a bounce back from him. We're laying a light number with a team who I feel like has the better G League roster in the Wizards, and I'm going to take the Wizards in this spot.
The Wizards in this spot here, laying the 3 against the Kings. All right, we'll continue on. We covered the Magic and Nets. Lakers and Cavaliers head-to-head here. Cavs will be favored 7. We said the total coming at 178.
Yeah, this is a tougher one. We got that Lakers one yesterday. Good money on that money line. I felt like there was a spot for them. They can get their first win against the weaker Hawks G League team. And this one right here, Cavs are not bad. I do like their draft pick from this year and from prior year. Jalen Tyson from Cal. He's a all around guy. He plays a forward, but he can really do a little bit of everything. And Amani Bates is the same way. DJ Burns coming off the bench along with a couple other guys. I want to say this is a lot of points, and it's a lot of points just to lay the 7 with them, and I do think the Lakers can use the momentum from the win last night and at least cover. But based off roster and based off play of what I've seen, I have to lay the 7 with the Cavs here.
All right, laying the 7 with the Cavs here in this one. ESPN to televise Lakers and Cavs. All right, we'll continue here on the rundown. We got some late starts tonight. Clippers and Jazz. The Clippers are going to be laying 5 here. Of course, the Clippers and Jazz making some noise here in the trading with some trades. Total sits 179.
Yeah, to me, this is a prime one for the Clippers to potentially get their first loss. They're 3-0. They've been playing well, but the Jazz have the better roster. When they put it together, this young Jazz team is going to be nasty. A lot of these guys that are playing in this G League will get bench minutes, and some can potentially make that starting lineup. With last year's pick with Hendricks and George, them alone, they've been balling. Hendricks had a breakout game. Then you got this year's pick with Cody Williams and Collier. They've been balling. They've been contributing earlier. You got Keller, Flipnowski. These guys are solid big man. I got to take the points with the Jazz, man. That roster is just loaded with young talent. And I think they give the Clippers all they can handle. You give me 5 points with the Jazz roster like that, I'm going to take the 5 here.
All right, Wayne says take the 5 here. We go to a super late night game, one of the latest nights I've ever seen in Summer League, 11 Eastern time. Timberwolves and Rockets. We see the Rockets favored 2, total 184.
Yeah, this is a coin flip for me, man. Both of these teams are very good. Both of these teams have good draft picks this year and good draft picks yesterday. Last year. Manat, Shannon Jr., and Rob Dillingham is sort of the T-Wolves 3-headed monster. We know Dillingham can go off, but he worries me defensively. But it's okay because the rest of the team makes up for him. That's a solid defensive team, definitely for the G League. They've been playing outstanding. Rockets, hands down, the better offensive team with Cam Whitmore, AJ Griffin, Shepard. That's their 3-headed monster. I'm going to lean to the Rockets in this one, but they kind of scare me defensively. I normally typically lead toward the defense, but I like the way this Rockets team has been playing together, and I think they can pull it out. It's a low number. It's not like we got to lay a lot of points with the Rockets, so I'm going to lay that 2 points with them.
Yeah, if these guys here on the Summer League team, if you want to even get a sniff of playing time, you better play defense for this coach. Let me just tell you right now.
Most definitely for you already know how the Timberwolves get down. What are they the number 1 defense in the league last season, so it's expected.
Yep, there we go. All right, so we got you I know the NBA Summer League rundown. A lot of you guys here, if you're watching the show today, you're going to look for Summer League. You guys love hoops, and of course you get a lot of college guys, G Leaguers, first year, second year guys here on these courts. They're playing hard out here in the Summer League. All right, for the show, it's the Magic laying the 2 for Wayne. All right, Wayne, let everybody know what you got going over at Pick Dodge Premium. It's Christmas in July, our best deals of the year right now. Of course, you're enjoying a great baseball year. What's going on over at Pick Dodge Premium?
As these guys have been continuing to mention, the Christmas in July, take full advantage of that. There's nothing that ticks me off more than somebody not able to take advantage of Christmas in July and then later on in the year get my yearly pass. I love mainly for you guys to make money but also save money, and this is the best time of the year to save money and get my yearly pass at almost half off. So if that's you, if you're a daily better like I am, take advantage of the yearly pass. Don't get week by week, day by day. The yearly pass is what's is great discounted right now. So if you like to save money, use that promo code and get that yearly pass. As far as tonight, taking the night off, we're ready to get my head right, finish the MLB season strong, continuing to crush this WNBA, and I'm excited for football, man. Still dibbling and dabbling and focus on football. Looking at the recruits that came in, looking at the transfer portal, just digging and diving, looking at top 25 quarterbacks. Every position I'm starting to just hone in on so I can smack college football out of the gates.
That's right, guys. Get that Christmas, July 1 year all sports pass. Big reductions. Remember, the promo code does apply. Pick at checkout, save you 20% off. Already a discounted 1 year pass from Wayne Scott. All right, Wayne, as always, have yourself a great evening. We'll catch up with you again next week. Now, let everybody know that you're on the beat here on boxing on Pick Dogs.
Oh, most definitely. Not a great card this weekend. I took a look, but there is some great fights to end the year that has already been announced. You got the Anthony Joshua and the Boyce fight. That fight's going to be fire. You got the Lomachenko versus Devontae David. That fight's going to be fire. Earl Spence back in action against the Towering Inferno. That fight's gonna be fire, so I'll be looking to break those down for you guys. Just stay tuned, and they'll be coming out to you when the fight gets closer.
There you guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, set notifications so when Wayne's ready to drop these boxing picks, you get them right away. All right, Wayne, have a great weekend. We'll catch up with you again next week. Maybe we can always catch up with you again sometimes on these weekend shows.
Yes, sir. I should be back on these weekend show pretty soon, and you guys definitely see me on there pretty soon. So stay tuned on the weekend shows, and I'll be back there with the game.
You got it, Wayne. Have a great weekend. Catch up with you next week.
All right. Take care, Tony T.
You got it. Wayne Scott here on the drive-thru. All right, guys, we'll get to my pick, and then we'll get to the recap here. So let's continue here on the drive-thru. As we'll give you a pick here from the day game tomorrow in baseball. This game should be over by the time we air tomorrow on the drive-thru. So why not go with it here? So let's get it to you right now. Looking at tomorrow's baseball, Cubs and the Diamondbacks head-to-head here. I can tell you right now that it expected to go here is Gallen. Let me see this. I think I've changed it. Gallen and Justin Steele. I like what I've been seeing from Steele of late here. So important game here because Diamondbacks just 3 games in the loss column ahead of the Cubs. Of course, these teams could be vying for wild card. Cubs are around 500. So any of these teams around 500 still have a shot. I'm not discounting them at all. But here, I'll be looking at the Cubs. You can find even money on these Cubs for tomorrow. Let me make sure it's still there. It's been an hour since we put these in, so let me double check here. DQ has it at even money still. Let me go back to my written notes here for this game. Gallen and Steele has been the one that has been very sharp here. You look at Steele, 2 earned runs or fewer in 8 of his past 9. Gallen has been hammered in his past 3 starts, allowing 15 runs in 13 days. Remember, he's coming back from the hamstring. But boy, this Arizona bullpen has been horrific on the road. ERA of 4.54. They have been 5-6 as a road favorite, losing 2 units. Chicago 9-5 as a home dog, returning 5 units. We'll go with the Cubs here to bring it home at even money. All right, guys, check out Pick Dogs for him. I've got my Christmas in July up there. Get my 1 year all sports pass has been discounted $300. Also, if you apply the promo code pick at checkout, that takes another $150 off. So you do the math. It's about $450 off my 1 year all sports pass with the Christmas in July special, and then you add the 15% discount using the pick at checkout, and it's a tremendous savings. So my 1 year all sports pass up there right now. Christmas in July, Pick Dogs Premium. Get on board. It's all my premium plays for the entire year, covering all the major sports. So no better time now than to get on board. All right, guys. Christmas in July. All right, let's get to the recap and let you guys go here until tomorrow. Big Guy McMordie like OKC here at Boston to win the NBA title. That return was plus 180. Tony Brown was on the Phillies, minus 125. Millz was on Miranda Maverick by decision. In UFC Fight Night, even money for Saturday. Wayne on Magic, laying the 2. I'll be on the Cubs at even money in this one. Let me see which one I like here out of all these picks. I have a feeling I know which one it is going to be here. As I will definitely be on with Tony Brown with that Phillies pick there. Pittsburgh just hitting 226 against right-handers. The bullpen for Pittsburgh an ERA near 5 at home. Phillies pen an ERA of 2.96 at home. Team recommended Nola 15-4. That's returning 5 units. I'm there with Tony Brown on the Phillies. All right, guys, that's going to roll here. Appreciate everyone's contributions. Thanks for you guys joining us. We got appreciate thank also to Wayne for his work here Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, giving us the entire rundown from the NBA Summer League. Kirk does it Monday, Fridays. Kirk not here tomorrow, so we'll see what we can do for you guys but we got baseball tomorrow. We have baseball tomorrow on the card. But we got you through this week with the NBA Summer League, full coverage there, pick on every game. So hope you guys appreciate the AOD, appreciate your comments there. As we got the picks to you guys, I know. All right, guys, this is the time where you can put your picks into the chat. This is your show picks, and I'll read them off. That's going to do it for this edition of the Drive Thru. We're back tomorrow live at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll bring our cappers for Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Place. Give up the place for you in real time. Remember, it always gets started with that morning show, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. This week, it's Jay and Chris. A lot of our video series tomorrow. The baseball rundown comes back by Ron Romanelli. Mitch's 7 picks in 5 minutes. Bane Tool Show was roundtable discussion with the professionals. Chris and Jay, WNBA, will be sidelined during the Olympic break here from the WNBA for about a month. Also, of course, keep an eye on Millz' UFC rundown. Also, his prop shop will be ready to roll here for the baseball restart here on Friday. And of course, the Nerfies from our man, Nerfies shorts from Matt Brad. Javon with his short parlays, and of course Kirk coming in with his MLB totals on the video series as baseball restarts here on Friday. All right, let's go ahead and let's take a look at the show picks. Nathan Cerner likes the Royals run line tomorrow, lay the 1.5. I know they're playing. Are they playing the White Sox? They have to play the White Sox. So Nathan Cerner likes the White Sox Royals here on the run line. Ramon also likes the Magic tonight. Let's see what else we have here. Rockets for Nathan Cerner, as well as the Cavs. Justin Maselli likes the Reds over 3.5 team total. I believe tomorrow, right? They go. I think he meant tomorrow. Fernando's 2-piece combo. All right, he was mixing MLS with Legal MX. That hit yesterday. From Fernando, you got one for today? What do you got for us today? All right. Let's see what else we got here. All right, I think we got everyone's contributions. All right, that's going to do it. So let's go ahead and bring in our crew from tonight. We'll go ahead.